In an attempt to bring rain to their land in previous centuries, the Native American Indians of North America performed various rituals and dances. During the American Civil War of the 1860s, it was observed that periods of rainfall would often follow the dense smoke and dust which rose into the atmosphere after major battles. From this background emerged Charles Hatfield in a tradition of rainmaking which he practiced in the early 20th century. Despite many successes, Charles Hatfield is largely remembered today for the results of his rainmaking work for the city of San Diego in the winter of 1916.
This gentleman, kind of a self-proclaimed chemist and other questionable things such as engineer and cattle salesman, whatever it was, he made an offer to the city councilman in early 1916 in order to end the drought season that had besieged the city and the county of San Diego. He offered for $10,000 to provide sufficient water to the county to fill the reservoirs. And finally, after many offers and counter-offers from both parties, that is the city council people and Mr. Hatfield himself, the city took his word and accepted a $10,000 contract, which was to be payable in two parts. There was a $5,000 payment made to Mr. Hatfield, and upon delivery of his promise of water, creation of water, or rain, as we know it, he was to be paid in full the remainder $5,000.
Hatfield attracted water as he had contracted to do, and I think the guy knew what he was doing.
I can bring the rain. I can break the drought. Call the clouds and bring the rain. Good morning, Mayor, council members, fellow citizens of this fair city. My name is Charlie M. Hatfield, the leading proponent of precipitation and rain inducer extraordinaire. Now you're all too young to remember, back when I came before the council back in December 1915, I said I'd fill Lake Morena Reservoir. Well, by February I brought enough rain to fill it twice. Well, that's exactly why I'll be at the Stone Store Museum, demonstrating my moisture evaporating vapor. I invite people locally, nationally, internationally, to watch with interest the results by way of precipitation following this demonstration. It will be these tests and future tests that will establish beyond all doubt the rain in fact can be induced by artificial assistance. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This weekend I'm going to give you 4 free samples of rain. Be sure to bring your umbrellas. And if you want my services to fill the reservoirs, I won't charge you a thing until you get all the rain you want. I can't be more fair than that.
Mr. Bear seconds the motion, and I think we should direct the city manager to prepare the contract.
Well, thank you for your appreciation, thank you for your support, and thank you for your time.
In the present day, the rainmaking practices of Charles Hatfield are still actively discussed in the East County regions of San Diego and at Lake Morena in Campo.
Based on the many examples of man-induced rainfall, it appears that injecting the proper chemicals into the atmosphere to attract water vapor should be the approach to take. Hatfield chose to set up operations atop the family windmill. This was his laboratory. He experimented with many different chemicals with little success. He chose not to give up and probably got hold of a chemistry book that set him in the right direction.
The town where he grew up hired rainmakers with not any particularly great success, and it impressed Charlie quite a bit. He got to help one of them, and it stayed in his mind for a long time. He's only about 12 years old then. So when they get out to the west coast here, due to the drought and everything, that whole outfit in Kansas picked up and left. They had to come get a job in California.
This is the chemical that Hatfield used. It's in a little different form, but it's ammonium chloride. And what I'm going to do is burn a little bit of this. At 800 degrees, it sublimates, and it forms a crystal lattice structure that allows water vapors to form or condense.
Ammoniac is a godsend. It sublimates, turns directly from solid to a vapor form at 600 and something Fahrenheit. Well, that's the temperature of hot solder. Any old wood fire is that hot.
This ammonium chloride, it's a white powdery substance. and it's in different forms. During Hatfield's days, it was probably known as salomoniac. It was used in shops where they did metal work as a pickling agent. And there are reasons why we know that this is what Hatfield used. Mainly, its availability. He was able to purchase this ammonium chloride without being noticeable because it was in such wide use at the time.
I'm convinced that that's what he did use, and I've in many write-ups have pointed this out. One, it was always a secret when he got where he was going, and he had plenty of stuff, and he never carried any large load of stuff with him. Therefore, it had to be there in commonplace, like common table salt. And the salomoniac is found in every blacksmith shop, which there was in those days. If you got anywhere you had horses, you had horseshoers, and the salomoniac is used for cleaning metals when you want to cold weld them with a hammer.
And that way he could keep his secrecy as to, his secret chemical formula without anyone really knowing.
Well, he discovered this when he was about maybe 19 years old while living on his dad's farm near Glendale. And if you take a notebook and go around jotting down all the farm chemicals on there, only one is of any value, and that's the salomoniac in the old farrier shop.
When Hatfield was doing his experiment for that 26 days, while he was burning this stuff, he starts just before a cyclonic circulation comes in and starts burning this. And in San Diego, they did have an unusually high amount of rain. It was 7 inches in San Diego, but out here in the Campo area, Lake Marina, it rained 44 inches. And filled the reservoir, enough rainfall to fill the reservoir twice in that period.
I'm enclosing in a box a picture of the 4 towers which we used at Crow's Landing during the years 1907, 8, and 9. And their letterhead on their cards shows 3 of the towers. In regards to cloud seeding using silver iodide crystals, these experiments will have a slight degree in causing precipitation over a limited territory. When the Hatfield system is put into operation, we never fail to have some rain, not to exceed a 6th day. And when our demonstrations are underway, they cover a vast territory. I would say a radius of 100 miles. Yours respectfully, Paul Hatfield.
Apparently there was a shortage of water in the dams, and since he was a rainmaker, he went down there to sell his wares, and they come to a contract for $10,000 if he could fill the Moreno Reservoir up to full during the year of 1916. This was agreed to, and they had a contract. So Hatfield and his brother set up towers to the side of Moreno Dam where they wanted to do their cloud seeding.
He had a weird way of charging. He would charge nothing for the first 3 inches and then $1,000 an inch from there on out.